Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir. How you doing? How you doing? We should have been breaking down two games by now, sir. Brentford, Brighton, both postponed this week. Games getting canceled, postponed left, right, and center, sir. Manchester United with an outbreak in the squad. How you feeling? How you doing? We got the next game is like 9 days away. Newcastle, Boxing Day +1. Are we going to play that game? You feel optimistic? I'm not sure.
Sir, the more things change, nothing changes. You know, it's 2021, 2020. Merry Christmas. This is where we're at here. It's tough. You know, we heard about the outbreak. Haven't heard a lot of information out of Manchester United. Then all of a sudden, boom, Brentford postponed. Then we heard the test numbers were absolutely crazy in the teens. First team coaches, etc. So then Brighton, things didn't get better. We saw some individual training sessions at Carrington, but we are in the thick of it. Manchester United with a significant COVID outbreak and multiple postponements. You have to think we can get it sorted by Newcastle. I imagine everyone's isolating. We'll come together again, start training. It's almost like this congested holiday fixture period just got kind of blown up, you know. It's really rough. Holidays. I want to see Manchester United. I want to be singing about all the Cantonas. It just looks like this year, more of the same here from a COVID perspective.
No, I mean, it feels like, I don't know, last summer again, last 2 Marches again, whatever it is. You know, there's so much uncertainty in the air. This week alone was such a crazy week. Monday, there was the Champions League draw, sir, with the Banana Republic double draw, right? Ridiculous stuff. I can't believe that was this week. And then, like you said, the Brentford game got postponed on Tuesday. There was an outbreak, I think, Monday night after the draw. And then, there was some attempt to do training. A bunch of players were sent home. And then full-on outbreak Thursday, Friday. Games postponed. But some games happened today, right? Leeds and Arsenal, they played. A bunch of other games got postponed. So it's kind of just like we're in the thick of it. As you said, things are not necessarily crystallizing, but also one thing that's coming around no matter what, this is not getting postponed as the January transfer window opens up in a couple weeks. And there's a lot of noise coming about mainly outgoings, but that should be hopefully an active period for the club. Incomings, I'm not really hopeful at all, but we definitely need to get rid of some of that dead wood.
Yeah, I mean, sir, it's hard to think about that right now, you know, just because without football, you know, it's one of those things where you're going to have the Lingard, Martial, Pogba train. But even then, we're not hearing a lot about that just because it's hard to run a football club. Your coach can't even evaluate the talent. I mean, Rangnick only had, 3 matches in charge, and he's got to evaluate, you know, who leaves, who stays based on that. This is kind of, for Manchester United, we had all that Rangnick hype. Think about that. He comes in, doesn't even have training with the boys now. It's almost we're regressing, and multiple matches canceled. I think, was it Tottenham, Leicester City was canceled as well. So similar here in the United States with American football, we're having postponements of fixtures. I just think we're headed through this crazy winter, and there's going to be crisis talks at the EPL level. You know, I hope we can get through this. It's this keep calm and carry on, I think, is the right thing to do here. Evaluate each game on a team-by-team basis and sort of try to keep playing, try to keep the league going. I'm not sure stopping like we did previously will help us finish the season. You have to remember that because of the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar, there was a big winter break in the 2022-23 season, and therefore next season is going to start on August 6th. There's not a lot of room to work. We had a Euros this past summer. Then you have a short summer coming into this next season. There's, quite frankly, not a lot of options. I think they have to try to keep playing until they get to the spring. And obviously we know sort of these winter waves happen with these new variants. Sir, it's hard to keep track of all of them at this point. But you have to try to get through the dark winter here, play as much as you can, and then fill in these games. But again, it's going to be an absolutely crazy season. Because imagine trying to make up all these games with a packed fixture schedule we have and World Cup qualifying, it's going to be insane again. And these players, they need a break. This is unbelievable.
They need a break. You know, on its surface, you would think this could be great. Like, oh, wow, Rangnick gets all this new time with his players, but really he's not getting that at all because they haven't had developed training sessions with the whole team. They've had half a squad available at any given time. But like you said, you don't have a lot of options really to do a month pause because, like, when are you going to make up those games? Because you're supposed to have all these fixtures, right? EFL, Cup is coming up. Those games are supposed to be played. Are they going to be postponed? A lot of EPL games as well, right? Boxing Day matches are famous. United not playing on Boxing Day was actually sad to see for us, but even that game is likely in doubt. But what are you going to do? You can't really push anything because, like you said, there is a big World Cup coming up in Qatar in November, December of next year, sir. If you push anything, right, like they're already planning on starting next year's EPL season earlier than normal, I believe, a week early. So whatever it is, they're kind of like they're in a really rough position because damned if you do, damned if you don't. And part of it is just like you got to kind of grit your teeth. Maybe you have less fans come. Maybe, I don't know, you do shutdowns in individual clubs. But I don't know what you do, sir, but they're in a tough position. On Monday, they're all meeting together. And I wouldn't love to be the guy making that call.
I mean, how could you make, honestly, even you saw the outbreak at Chelsea. It just seems everyone's kind of getting it these days, and every team, and it's everywhere. And it's sort of like that hold on mentality, kind of like our defense has been like going late into games trying to defend the lead this year. Is just like I think they're gonna do everything they can to keep the games playing, keep the season going, but they might need to stop. I mean, what does a 2-week break get you? And then this is kind of where the crazy argument is like, okay, well, Chelsea's playing, Manchester United's not. So is it an advantage that we're not playing? So then at the end of the day, like, who does this help? Who does it hurt? And it's really unprecedented. I just think that why are footballers like catching this like crazy? It has to be because everyone's kind of lax. And then all of a sudden maybe it's a new variant in the UK. And then all of a sudden everyone's getting it. But, shout out to everyone across the pond. Shout out to everyone here in the United States. Stay safe out there because we're headed for another crazy winter. And one of our favorite distractions, football, it helps us all during these tough times, and I'm hoping it doesn't shut down again. That was a dark time. We were watching classic matches on the pod, breaking those down. Sorry, I don't want to go back to that.
Hey, I'd take that over Hans and Franz any day of the week, but I hear you. It's like something I was looking forward to. I know everyone's looking forward to it, but at the end of the day, health and safety is the most important. This is also important. I think it's important for public morale is a lot higher when there are sports going on, especially over the holidays when it's a cold, dark period. It's not even winter yet, right? I think doesn't the winter start on the 21st of December, sir? So it is going to be a long winter. I think they do have to kind of just grit their teeth and try and keep people as safe as possible, but at the same time, they have to hold the line, keep the games going because they just can't really push anything anymore. They have how many World Cup qualifying matches do we have left? I think more than a couple, plus more than half of the EPL season, plus Champions League, FA Cup. So there's so many games to play. And then the World Cup is starting in less than a year. So it's a tough decision to be in. And Manchester United, you want to be playing games. It's like this team needs to get fitness. He needs to see this new manager, what the squad's all about. And he's not really getting an opportunity to because he doesn't even get a full pick of the litter because of all of the players that have been out with test positive. So tough position. And I feels like the more things change, the more they say the same, like you said at the beginning, because this is like deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra once said.
That's the right way to think about it. And, there's also complications of players getting back to fitness after having COVID, and that's something that, is going to affect our team because a lot of players tested positive and you have to think some of them are going to struggle. I mean, we saw that in American sports and the NFL, certain players got it and they sort of had that sort of COVID fog. A lot of players have, I think Kimmich on Bayern Munich, he has to take a season off just from having it. So there are even more complications that could come from sort of this crazy outbreak at Manchester United. I mean, we're the number one club affected at the moment. And so like you said, trying to get back to fitness could be difficult. It could put us against the ropes the rest of the season. And as a fan, look, this time's tough, dude. We love you and me getting together, watching the games, thinking about the table, et cetera. And it's hard to like actually put that into perspective where some teams are playing, some teams aren't. Try to do your fantasy team. I don't even know, sir. I have tons of Manchester United players. I'm like dying.
You and me, we're bottom. We're bottom.
Yeah,
two last places.
Yeah, we're the worst. So it's just one of those times where you look forward to football around the holidays, and this year we might have to be watching some other types of football to get through it. Quick PSA for the podcast.
Vintage games are on the radar. I think they're coming back.
I know. Let's hope not. Quick PSA for the podcast. You like the American Red Devils? We are for fans, by fans. If you want to support independent fan content, you want to support this podcast, check us out on Patreon. You can visit our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/American Red Devils. You can sign up from a few different tiers. We give away pins, stickers, scarves, shirts, you name it. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you are the real MVP. You help us do all the things we can here at the small time operation. Also, check out our website, www.americanreddevils.com. Check out our great fan-generated blog and our merch. Click on store. We have hoodies, beanies, keychains, stickers, scarves. We got it all. Everything you buy, it looks cool. You support the pod. It's a win-win. Please check it out, sir. Tell them about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews, wow, they're a great way to support the pod. They don't cost any money at all. And we're sending out extra special merch, sir, over the holidays. The elves in the American Red Devils warehouse, they're working overtime, sir. It's probably too late to get you something by Christmas, but hopefully by the year end. And we're giving away free things if you write a 5-star review on iTunes. Send a screenshot of that to AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I will personally pick, pack, and ship something and send it straight to your door for free, just for supporting the pod. Great way for us to get found organically, sir. Also, like you said, check out the store. Great merch. The blanket is fire. The knitted hat is fire. If you want to write for the blog, reach out to us. We're always looking for keen writers. Sir, I wish we were breaking down this match. I wanted to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch this Brighton match. I was so excited. Shout out to Joe at the ticket shop. I sent you something. I don't think it got delivered because nobody was there.
If there was a silver lining, it's no 4:30 a.m. wake up call here, sir. Let's get we're gonna jump right into the United in the news. You want to hit me with the music?
So the board is malfunctioning. You're gonna have to make up news.
United in the news.
That's great.
Premier League's COVID-19 crisis continues with 6 additional matches postponed per ESPN. Premier League continued to be hit by the COVID Omicron variant surges in the United Kingdom on Thursday. 6 matches postponed, including Leicester City versus Tottenham and Manchester United versus Brighton. The league later added 4 additional weekend matches being postponed. Southampton, Brentford, Watford, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Norwich, and Everton, Leicester would also be postponed. The announcements mean that 9 league fixtures have been called off this month, and they seem to be increasing. The pace of these canceled matches is increasing, which is concerning. The Premier League has already tightened guidelines at training grounds and increased demands for proof of vaccination or a negative lateral flow test, whatever that is. Match day fans at stadiums. So those vaccination and tests are for fans at stadiums. It's only a matter of time until they limit the capacity of the stadiums. Is coming. I thought that would come. I didn't see the outbreaks for the footballers. I thought they would just limit the amount of people going to matches, but I'm sure footballers are not really too into following the guidelines. English football's top flight was privately vowing to stick to the existing schedule as closely as possible. They are fighting to play the games like we talked about with the summer. There's not a lot of time on the back end for any big delay. Also, there's a big money element when it comes to the broadcasting rights here, so they have to play the games.
Especially over the holidays, sir. Especially over the holidays, because there's so many eyes going to be watching football over the holidays, right? Because people have off. This is like the most lucrative run of fixtures. So they really don't want the games to slip, like you said.
And then another article from the BBC, Premier League clubs to discuss options around COVID-19. Premier League clubs will meet this Monday to discuss the escalating crisis around the coronavirus pandemic. 10 games have been postponed over the past week, including 6 from this weekend's 10-match fixture list. and clubs want a chance to discuss the options, I'm sure they're going to be talking about certain teams being affected and how it disadvantages them. You know, a lot of complaints are going to be lodged around here. The Premier League chief, Richard Masters, has written to clubs urging players to get the vaccine and stressed the importance of the league completing the season. Brentford boss Thomas Frank led calls for all matches to be called off until December 26th to enable a reset. Some feel the break should be longer, but others, such as Liverpool's Jurgen Klopp, do not believe it should happen. And the most amazing thing ever is like Jurgen Klopp coming out and saying a lot in the press here. You don't like the guy, but I mean, everything he says is pretty spot on. I do agree with it. It's like the whole, like, you don't know who got it at Manchester United, trying to cover like kind of something that happened at Manchester United that shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole idea that the entire team could get it is crazy, because this is a multi-billion dollar industry that they should be taking the right protocols to ensure that they can play these games. And it's amazing that the Premier League, you have to blame the Premier League chief not for really having a plan.
Well, I mean, this is like kind of we talked about it before we got on the pod, you know, as it relates to like what's going on domestically in the U.S. I don't think the phenomenon, what you're seeing in the U.K. is dissimilar to what's going on in the tri-state area at the moment, right? It's just like, I think everybody got excited, got ahead of themselves, and everyone thought, we're back, Premier League players included, right? There were a lot of photos of players at holiday parties, obviously, like, in the local press in England, there's a lot of jeering at the Tories and what's his name? What's the guy's hair? Boris Johnson, like having a bunch of holiday parties last year when he told everybody else to do lockdown. So I think like there was a little bit of a phenomenon. So that's where these cases are just kind of popping off at the same time. Like, sir, you know, they've kind of increased some of the requirements of entering the stadium, but there's still 50,000 fans at a game.
So you again, this is assuming there's smart people that run the Premier League, right? So the Premier League has like, I don't know how many billions on the line of finishing this league, and you think about the teams then have the money on the line because they reap the rewards of these giant TV deals. You think they would take the precautions in order to prevent these types of things from happening? Like it'd be like, okay, we're seeing a surge, like the players need to like move into a hotel and then get tested more frequently so they can sort of create a bubble around the players during the winter so that this type of outbreak doesn't happen. Like, you know, there's so much money on the line that you would have thought they could have seen this coming. And I think this really just proves that they got no plan and they don't know what they're doing. Obviously, as a fan, you know, I want to see these games, but, you know, I thought you had to regulate the fans in the stadium. I thought they would have had a plan for dealing with this with the players. Like, all right, we have to increase protocols because there's winter's coming, like Game of Thrones, and there's a new variant. But too little, too late, and now they're trying to carry on through the rest of the season. So, you know, this is sort of the situation we're in. We're seeing it in American football as well, and you know, I just think this sort of all or nothing mentality isn't working. You know, it's back to normal or nothing. Really, and you know, turning it off and on doesn't really work, like you said, with whatever the political situation going on in the UK is. I get a little bit of it on Twitter. I really don't know anything over there, but you know, it's just sort of this. The players should have been more careful. The club should have been more careful. You know, this is just one of those things where it could have been prevented, honestly, and you know, it just sucks to have this happen because now it's a mess they got to clean up, and there's no good solution really.
No, and it's always the case, right? People are reactive instead of proactive. I think that the league, probably the clubs, needed to be a little bit more proactive at the beginning of December, knowing like, hey, we just have, and I know they don't Thanksgiving, but I'm just like, the holiday season is here. Everyone's going to want to get back together with their family, you know, thinking that we're in the clear. And let's just get ahead of that and like take the normal precautions, limit the sizes, wear masks when necessary, you know, like get your jab, all that stuff. And I don't think they were kind of preaching that at all, sir. I think it was just like, whatever, everything's back open. And we had an element, we have the same element in the US. You know, I think now all of a sudden everyone's like, holy shit, Wall Street, right? It says like, we're closed for a month. They're shutting down Broadway shows. We've seen this movie before. I mean, oh my God, how many times have we seen this movie before? And like you said, it's probably just like the club was a little irresponsible, the league was a little irresponsible, and now what are they going to do about it? Like, I feel like it's going to be very hard to kind of cobble together and still have league matches in, 6 days from now?
No, I mean, I understand like the, you and me element of it, or like Broadway, whatever, but I don't understand hey, we have a worldwide sporting institution that makes its money on these players playing every week. And that we have to make sure that we don't have giant outbreaks. Like nothing else is like that many billions on the line. It's just like one of those things where like it should have been in the plan. And whoever's running it is, like they're pretty incompetent. They let the Super League happen. To letting this happen, and it's just sort of back to square one. So we'll keep you posted here at the American Red Devils. It's crazy times, and let's just hope that we can. I think the keep calm, carry on mentality that I can't even believe I'm saying it, Jurgen Klopp is discussing is probably it's the way to go. The shut down is not the way to go. Sorry, it's like keep going. Manchester United need a right back. I'll lace them up. Sir, I've seen you play goalie in Argentina in a few intense games. Get this guy in net. We're good to go. We're good to go. We'll play for Manchester United. I'm sure some American Red Devils will lace them up too. So
I'll tell you what, they got a deep academy, and if that's what they have to do across the league to start like dipping in the academy.
Why not? Yeah, I like the whole like let's keep going.
Keep going. Just like
I mean, come
put
on.
a goalie in. You play a goalie at right back, do it. Play 3 goalies.
I'm not a shutdown guy. I'm a keep going guy. I
that's
think that's what we should do. As safe as possible, but you got to keep things moving. Next article here, sir. We got to talk about it. Hysterically, you and me got up in the morning to work out. We called that we were going to drop PSG in the Champions League draw. This feels like months ago. The whole like we draw PSG. Like the thing is about European soccer, you have to know it's like we've been around the block. Sorry, we've been watching this for almost 20 years. Things happen that just you just know it. The Messi, Ronaldo, big team. It's like the
it's
money.
Corrupt. It's like fixed. There's more of a fix in this element of the sport, given all the different countries that you have to play in across Europe. And then they have the whole FIFA element, right? Like the buying of votes. I think it's a shadier element overall than like your average NFL, which is like a monopoly in its own right, has its own kind of bag of tricks, but like sort of football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, is like it's fraught with like a shady element. And this is just something you kind of see, and you saw it like in full effect with a draw, bro.
But here's the thing. There shouldn't need to be a draw, right? Like if you watch the World Cup, it's like the winner of Group A plays the second place of Group B, and the winner and the second place of Group A plays the winner of Group B, and it's just set up predetermined at the start of the tournament so that there's no need to reshuffle. Now, I understand the reasons for reshuffling, right? You can't play a team in your same country and all this stuff. So there's a reason for it, but that is sort of where you have the hand moving the market. Now, you have to think the Manchester United PSG fixture is such a moneymaker that they would do it, right? And so if they could tip the scale, they would for that one, because Messi, Ronaldo is just how much money can they make?
It's too good. It's like,
and then for that to happen is insane. And so like basically what happened in the draw is I did think we saw it like being fixed live, and they even bungled the fix. They got it right,
yeah.
But they
screwed something else up.
Even when they redid it, it's like we get Atletico, which is like another Ronaldo sort of headline. So even then, I do think that, there is sort of that invisible hand, involved. I think the way that they can do it is if you watch the draw, they take all those balls and they put them in, and then they focus on the hand of the person. I think the person could look at what ball, if there's like a little mark on it or something. I think that they could actually, do it like that. It's a very Andre Arshavin. I don't know if I can trust him.
But the smiley Russian guy,
so
you don't think you can trust him?
Here's the thing. FIFA's corrupt. Look at the World Cup in Qatar, Russia as well.
Yep.
UEFA is corrupt. It's always Platini. Like he is coming from FIFA. Now you have the new guy, and then the Super League is created. Somehow UEFA looks like that their shit doesn't stink, but UEFA is corrupt as well. Regardless, sir, let's get into the last 16 draws. We can go online. We could go full conspiracy theory here.
What do you think about the draw? We should talk about United and Atletico first and foremost. Like PSG, when I saw that, I wake up. When I wake up, the second hardest draw, I wanted PSG. I was like, let's go. I was excited about it. And you know what? I'm excited about Atletico. They're the kings of shithousery. I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe it's Argentina national team or them, but it's close. They're like the epics of the shithousery game. I'm looking forward to it. Suarez chomping people, sir. I can't wait. Let's go, baby. Simeone, Ronaldo. That video just like, it's so good, sir. You should just tag it on our Twitter. It's too good. The Atletico one. 2-0.
No, but
amazing. I can't wait.
Chelsea get Lille again. City gets Sporting Lisbon. Ajax Benfica, Bayern Salzburg. We get Atletico. Tough draw, dude. That's a tough draw. I mean, you're looking at who we could play, and they're the number 2 one you don't want to play. We get them. Juventus, Villarreal, Inter Milan, Liverpool, and then PSG versus Real Madrid. I think the PSG versus Real Madrid big fixture, right? Messi going against old rival. It's almost like the plan B rig it worked.
Totally.
Like they're like, we got Ronaldo, Atletico, that's big. And then we get PSG, Messi goes to play Real Madrid, and also you got Ramos as well. So there's like still that, glitz and glamour about it.
So you know why it's rigged? Because like I have never seen another sport that after the round of 16 they do another draw. So like, all right.
Well, they do it for there's a bunch of tiers in why they do it. It's like you can't play a team in your group. Then there is you can't play the same country, right? Because that's an element.
Even
right?
the quarterfinals that matters.
No, in this round you can't.
No, in this round I get.
And then there's like a TV. Then there's like a TV rights. There's like a bunch of like things that go into the algorithm that then like they blew it. But the guy who was running that show, a big dude to do.
It looks so shady. It was so funny.
It was just kind of like, they were doing something. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know why you need a computer program to do it, or I don't know why the computer program just doesn't do it. I don't know why you got to do all the balls and all this nonsense. But there is an audit actually. So there's the draw, and then there's the audit of the draw, because otherwise teams could complain and sue, because there's a lot of money at stake here. So, for the people saying it isn't rigged, they have auditors, and there are like competition rule sets. And if it was broken, teams can sue them because there's lots of money on the line here. So, we're probably numpties and it's not rigged, but just having fun on the pod. Apparently Cavani's going to Barcelona. That's the next one per the La Marca. La Marca prints a lot of shit. Cavani's like been MIA. Love Cavani. Aguero obviously retired. Due to a heart condition. I don't rate Aguero because of what he did to us, and he was supposed to be a Man United player. And that goal he scored killed me. I still don't forgive him for that.
This looks to be done, sir. I mean, so Cavani, just as additional context, which I should have included, Cavani had a cryptic Instagram post this week about how much he loves Manchester United fans and appreciates them, which basically sets in stone that he's going to Barcelona. Apparently, he's going to buy out his contract, join on a free, and it's a bummer because I was a big Eddie Cavani fan. After he won my heart, sir. I wasn't initially, but what a player, dude. Passion, good guy. All about it. And that's a bummer because actually I think he'd be great under Rangnick because he's got such a high work rate. And I kind of want to see him run this season out with Ronaldo and then go on. So this is actually kind of a big bummer because I would see Ronaldo playing with Cavani at some point under Rangnick's Red Army, sir.
I wouldn't sell Cavani.
No.
He was injured, right? And then he came back from injury. But it really comes down to Ralph, what he wants. And obviously the board getting his wages off. But at the end of the day, like keeping him around, I think he'd help us win some silverware, sir. Like FA Cup. I just think when his passion, desire, the grit, everything he brings is what we lack him. Well, like when you say Harry Maguire's the captain and how soft he is and everything he doesn't bring to the team, Cavani does. Like he'll die out there for Manchester United. He'll do whatever it takes. Like, I just love that attitude he brings. And you can't replace that because it's infectious and we've seen it. Like Tottenham's a great example. that comeback against Tottenham that he was part of. Like,
what a game.
He just has this like
edge.
He's a lion out there. Reminds me of Zlatan. You know, these older players that have this, like
Ronaldo has it, obviously.
Ronaldo does, but it's just one of those things where you need that with this young team that's been soft at times, and getting rid of him it's a loss for the locker room, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, because you can look at the roster, like, yeah, you don't need him, but I just like that element he brings to the team. Comes on as a sub, you know. His energy is infectious. It's like the opposite of Tony Martial, who, you know, we're going to get rid of as well. Next bit of news here. Ipswich appoint Kieran McKenna as manager. Sir, you know, as far as I'm concerned, bye, Felicia. Like, Kieran McKenna, like, you know, whatever. This guy.
Real sentimental over here.
This guy, like, dude, he coached, like, the youth team, didn't deserve the job that he did, and arguably, you know, did a great job with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, apparently he trusted him, and we know how that went. So, you know, Ipswich, good luck, bro. You know, at the end of the day, prove me wrong, come back and be the manager of Manchester United. But, you know, he didn't strike me like he knew what he was doing.
Well, he'll get a chance to go on his own. I, at least, am wishing him his best. Hope he does well. Sorry, I'm not like this guy. And I'm glad.
Like, what did he do at Manchester United?
That's not the point. Is like, who gives a shit?
What did he do?
We tried his best, sir, and you know what? We're wishing him his best, and it's good.
You're not nice to David Moyes. You talk smack about David Moyes.
David Moyes was the head coach. He was the head coach. He was the main man. He was making $10 million a year. He's assistant coach. This guy's assistant coach under Mourinho and under Ole. Wishing his best, sir. He's like, dude, he's not a bad guy, bro. Like, Jose Mourinho is talking shit about this club nonstop, so is LVG. Moisey is probably actually better behaved than those other two. And I'm going to root for dude, he's a Red, bro. He's not like spitting on the badge on the way out. I'm going to root for McKenna. I hope he does well. And this is good for the club because Ralph, this is good. Why am I going to root for him?
Yeah. Why are you rooting
Why
for
wouldn't
him?
I root for him, bro? Because I'm like, you know.
So you should root for David Moyes.
What'd you say? I'm rooting for David Moyes, sir. I'm not rooting against David Moyes. Like, I root against Jurgen
I'm not
Klopp.
rooting against him. I'm not rooting. I'm just like,
I don't want him as our manager.
Like, it's like this whole, like, let's say goodbye to, like, a mediocre part of this.
I'm not, like, getting Kieran McKenna tattoo, bro. I'm just saying, like, good luck, lad, on to the next one. And this is good because Ralph gets more of his guys in a senior position, right? Like, Carrick gone, McKenna gone. A couple of them are probably going to be gone too. That's even more. It's like a clean slate for Ralph. He'll get more bodies in. I think this is a positive thing. So, you know, wish him well on my end. So you tell him to piss off, clearly. So this guy don't like Kieran McKenna.
I'm just, no, dude, him out on the touchline, like, that pisses, like, you know, it's just like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you know, it just seems to me that whole, like, the whole cast of characters, like, they're all part of that, like, disastrous reign at the end of Ole's. So maybe I'm like that have a bad taste in my mouth because, like, dude, they should have been able to figure it out, and they're all part of that, like, miserable meltdown. You know, that's probably more what it is. But like you said, like, I don't root against them. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm not too concerned about it. Like, you know, you're taking the high road, sir. You know, very noble of you. But,
I'm not going to be like watching Ipswich Town to see,
it's
like,
just more of like, okay, like, it's just like Darren Fletcher, the sporting director, on the bench on match day. It's more just like, what are we doing? I mean, like, why are these guys here? Kieran McKenna was like a youth academy guy, and now he's like one of the assistant coaches of the first team at Manchester United. It's like, I want people with, like, legit CVs here. I don't need, like, more of this stuff. And I think Kieran McKenna and that whole crew kind of represented a little bit of jobs for the boys, like Roy Keane says. And so I think it's good for him to move on and cut his teeth. Good for Manchester United to move on. But a sort of different part of this story is everyone's leaving. Does that mean Pochettino's coming? Because I, read on the Twitter sphere, Poch has his own crew, and is Rangnick kind of clearing out for someone else with their own crew? Because obviously the Red Bull coach is not, like, huge priority for Ralph as far as his guys. So maybe it's more cleaning slate so that someone else can come in and bring in their guys, a la Ten Hag or a la Maurizio Pochettino. I think that's more likely. I think it's more likely they're clearing these guys out because Ralph probably won't be the manager next year. I think it will be either Ten Hag or Maurizio Pochettino.
I think there's less of that. I think Manchester United doesn't look that far ahead, bro. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. This is more of like these guys were loyalists, and they're like, well, it's time to go. Because if you can get a coaching job, even in the championship, that's a step up from being, but you're an assistant, and you're going to be another assistant. You're not going to be head coach of United. It's a great time to leave. The timing's perfect, and there are clubs that need coaches, so it's like, it makes sense, right? Carrick is going to find a job quickly. Kieran found a job. It's like, it's just kind of inevitable because like why they want to go coach number 3, because that's what kind of it would be for Kieran.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense, sir. And the last bit here, Ronaldo and Sir Alex sat down for an interview. The boss man, it was a great interview, sir. You can catch it on YouTube. We're going to play a little bit of the audio here. The boss man talks about trust, sir. I thought that was a big thing.
Manager, for anyone to get into a position of leadership or management, the one thing you have to try and instill in the people who work under you is a confidence and trust in the manager. In time, they understand that trust and they become loyal to you. And they know that if they have a problem, they can come to me in confidence, and that door of mine was always open, or knocking the door to come with any problem they had, and always was open to that. And through that kind of mechanism, the players begin to understand that they can trust you. There was always that understanding that I don't like losing, particularly when the expectation of Manchester United players drops. I can't allow that. That trust, I think that like Cristiano and other players coming to the club would understand in time.
I think everyone knew it, his role in a team, in a staff, the coaches, and this is why we won, I don't know how many titles, and it's because of that, these elements that the Sir Alex Ferguson mentioned before, that the people trust in our group, in his communication, and he was there to lead the team and help us, the best possibilities to win the games. So I remember very well that it was the key for the success of the Manchester United.
I always felt that the area I didn't enjoy was the 45 minutes before the kickoff, when the team are out warming up and I'm doing nothing. I'm sitting in my office and I want the game to start right there, but I can't because they're doing their warm-up, and you're lonely. You're on your own. I'm just sitting in my office on my own, watching television while they're doing their warm-up. And that was the only spell I didn't enjoy that. Once the game started, fantastic.
So there are interesting stuff there, talking about trust in the manager, trust in the players trusting themselves. I mean, I think he's definitely right. Talk about that in a business world, I think it makes sense. Talk about it in a team, makes sense. I think, what Ralph is going to need to be able to do is kind of instill, hopefully, some trust in the players back and forth, that mutual trust, right? They trust him, he trusts them. And that is what you build a winning team. And then just like some crazy winners like Ronaldo, bro. Because even just sitting on that bench, sitting on the couch, waiting for Fergie to finish talking, bro. Like, I'll tell you whatever Ronaldo has, sir, he's got something. He's got like this edge that just like he is a unique man. Beyond 1 in 10,000, sir. He's a special one.
Absolutely. And trust is huge. I actually think that towards the end of Ole's reign, I think trust was kind of a problem. I think he probably told a lot of players a lot of things, and like he told Donnie he was going to get a chance. He told, and once that trust erodes, because in order to be Ole, Mr. Nice Guy, you got to lie a little bit, I guess. It's almost like you try to be too paper over the cracks, and I think Rangnick's sort of radical truth bombs, I think will be helpful because these players need it, and that's kind of how you can establish some trust a little bit. But it's sort of about that following through, having the players trust he's doing the best thing for the team and vice versa. I really, sir, it's like you see those two together. It's just like, come on. That's what the holiday season is all about. We might not have a match, but we got that interview. And sir, that's it. That's the podcast. Oh, actually, sorry. We have some fan questions, sir. What am I talking about?
Come
here?
on,
Getting
buddy.
carried away,
Atta
sir.
boys.
I'm already like thinking about the holidays, all the
So
snacks.
think about the ham.
Think about
What ham?
holiday ham.
Holiday ham.
At Jared United, quote, happy holidays to the American Red Devils family. A healthy and Varane and Cavani would be a great Christmas present.
Oh my God.
I know, Varane essentially, and then Cavani maybe the fax machine not working to send him to Barcelona would also be another great Christmas present. We hope we can keep him, but yeah, we totally forgot Varane played for us.
He's pretty good, I heard.
Yeah, but one thing we did talk about before we signed him was his injury record was pretty poor, and it's like when you watch the game, watch football, sir, the durability is huge, and when the players start getting injured. And Cavani, same thing. We signed him. Can he stay healthy? And what have we seen? Injuries, lagging, Varane injuries. Varane's not a start every game center back for us, unfortunately, and we need him to be. That's why we need probably the next Varane ultimately at Manchester United.
No, you're right. He's probably a once a weeker, and I think he needs to be carefully managed under a manager that knows how to manage a player in that tenure of his career, right? Like where he can't be playing every 3 days. So there's a lot of talent in this team, and not having like matches to break down. This manager, he's had such a little time to influence the style of play or just even his relationships with individual players. It's only made more challenging by the disruptions in the squad and players being sent home and having all these positive tests within the squad, sir. So hopeful, sir. Heading into the holidays, I'm hopeful that we will have matches. I'm hopeful that Manchester United is going to turn over a very promising leaf in the new year under this manager, sir. Clear out some dead wood, maybe pick up a player, maybe one, probably just one over the January window, sir. But hopeful, sir. This squad is deep. A lot of young players ready to break on through. I just want a match. When's the next match? So you think we're going to play Newcastle on the 27th?
I think so. I mean, players will be out, but I think we'll play them. I hope this sort of keep calm and carry on kind of continues. I think that's the move. Anything we've learned was, because it's a fitness, man.
Right.
You shut down, reopen. It takes
a
time.
month,
You
right.
can't just shut down for 2 weeks. It's crazy. Next tweet here, at Ty Kircher on Twitter, quote, what, if any other sports do you guys follow? Are you as passionate at watching them as you are United? Alex, what do you say?
I mean, this is my love, like Manchester United, 100%. There's nothing that even comes remotely close in terms of my fanhood. I'll watch occasional American football game, especially in the fall. Reminds me of the fall. Like I've been enjoying that recently. Occasional baseball game in playoffs is usually fun. What else, sir?
You don't watch baseball.
I don't watch baseball.
I'll
watch one game a year. I'll go to a game. I love to go to a game. I love baseball in person. That's like a great sport. She's a big Yankees fan.
Sir,
my mom.
You're talking a lot because you don't want me to say what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
Your mom's like a season ticket holder of the Yankees. So we've watched Yankees baseball since we were 12, 13.
We lads.
Even before then. Anytime the Yankees are in a playoff run, I tell you, you don't watch it.
Well, I've had to basically
So-
cross out my other fanhood because I didn't want to be called a fair weather fan because I became a Manchester United fan. So I was like, all right, Yankees are out because I can't be like, oh, I'm a Yankees and Manchester United fan. It's like, sorry, had to give it up. So that's part of that is one big club, Manchester United. That's it.
No, I mean, my dad watches every game. He's like,
At least once. My mom goes to a game that watches the replay.
I know. Your mom's a nut for it, just like my dad. And it's like the only thing he does, and he watches every game. So I follow it so that I could have I could text my dad, kind of keep in line. But yeah, I can't watch it unless it's playoffs. I watch American football. New Jersey Giants fan, sir. I mean, they play in New Jersey. They're called New York, but it's really New Jersey Giants all day. We grew up there, played football. I met Alex on the football field, bashing helmets. That's kind of how we became friends. Long
That's why
time
I remember
ago.
nothing.
Yeah, when you were a freshman in high school. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of so. The New Jersey Giants, they're horrible. Sir, you can't call me a fair weather for rooting for them. I mean, they have won one more game than the Jets in the last 5 years, and they have the worst. They're second for the worst record in football over 5 years. So, but something about I enjoy teams sucking. Something about the New York sports radio where they yell. about how horrible the team is.
Have you been enjoying Manchester
like
United
that.
sucking for the last 8 years?
No, Manchester United should be like, and always has been like, the one team that, has, won things, and, and the Giants have, kind of been up and down, and obviously the Yankees have been through a rough patch, like a decade without the World Series. So, and all my friends being Boston fans, it's been rough with the, I'm not going to say the teams who shall not be named, the evil Boston teams here. So I don't want to offend any American sports fans either. I think going down this road is a little tough one. Also, I like
question.
I like esports.
Big
I like
guy.
I watch Warzone. I like I dabble there. I do like that as well. So there's other things going on, but if you had to look at the pie, it's like 95% Manchester United, and like I don't live and die with the New York Giants or even the Yankees for that matter. I live and die with Manchester United. The pain that I feel when De Gea missed that penalty against Villarreal for the Europa League. I mean, just
talking about trust, bro.
Nothing
about trust
devastates you more. The
wife's not asking what day do the Yankees play this weekend.
No,
what day do the? It's like my wife's like, what day is United's game? When's the United game this weekend? Like,
no, I mean, like I would describe like mild frustration, with like the Astros beating the Yankees in the ALCS or something like that. Like mild frustration, like losing Europa League finals, like
that was heartbreaking, bro.
That's like
Villarreal was heartbreaking.
Like it's like it hits so hard that I'm not over it yet.
No, I'm still not over it.
It's like the one that got away, like a trophy required for Ole, and honestly, losing that game is why Ole's not here anymore.
No, that's exactly why, because they lost all their trust of the manager on that game when he couldn't get it done.
So yeah, I guess that's a long-winded answer of like tri-state area sports. And then, but everything is
a lot of football, a lot of this, a lot of United.
Also, U.S. men's national team. We watch it. Obviously, we went to the World Cup in Brazil, so that's there as well.
We're planning our trip, sir.
We are planning going to Middle East. We're in the throes of planning that with our friends right now. Next tweet here at Love the Bulls 18. What I would love to see is a video podcast. I would love to see your facial expressions when cracking jokes. That would be hilarious. You know what? It would be hilarious, but we're barely able to do the audio.
We have to turn the video off because we have so much shit running that like it starts to click if we have video running. So I might need like a 3G tower in my backyard, sir, if we're going to do that.
Junior, we hear you 100%. It's just literally more of a, this is like part-time for me and Alex. And like, we're dads. So like, the wives they're already knocking on the door right now, telling us to get off the podcast, like the amount of time we have to do it. So it's not like I understand that like pods are doing video, but like if it was a full-time job for us, like, yeah, like totally. But like, we just don't have the time to be able to upload those files, like get someone to like edit it. It's just, like the money and time. So we're really in the just like get the pod done, get it out, which is probably like 10 years ago. So we understand it's not really a competitive format, but we're not really trying to do that. We're just trying to hit record, have fun, get as many pods out. But as this thing grows, I'm sure there'll be a time for us to do it when it makes sense. But just right now, we're barely able to do this. So we're going to keep like even this we mess up. So keep
barely
keep sticking. We're going to keep sticking with this. And then like, hopefully down the road, you will get to see Alex like howling, laughing, and having a laugh.
It's animated. I'll tell you what, my face is as animated as this pod is. So it
is. But also the good part is the American Red Devils are going nowhere. And that's the most fun part is that, we love doing it. We love hanging out, having a chat. I mean, honestly, it's just more of you and me being good friends, and we just love Manchester United. And then, the pod is what it is. We're not like super trying to make better points than each other or tell everyone why we're right. That's not what we do here. And the good part is that makes it sustainable, and we're going to do it over the long term. And so, yeah, eventually that would probably come, but it would have to come with us growing a little more and then having the bandwidth too, because sir, I got another baby on the way, and everything's pointing in the direction of less time to do things. So the fact we can do this is a miracle, honestly.
Sir, congrats. And like you said, we're trying our best. One day, maybe that time will come. But we're just trying to keep the lights on through the cold winter, bro.
Well. There's an element of we got faces for radio as well.
Yeah, we do, bro. Like I got a body for radio.
That's it. That's the podcast. We hope everyone's doing well. Stay safe. Let's hope football's back sooner rather than later. Manchester United are back sooner rather than later. And everyone have a great holiday as well. It's a big part of it. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. I'm sure I'm forgetting lots of holidays, but
happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy everything. You got to be able to say everything, I should have had it. Happy Kwanzaa. I think that's one there I missed as well. Look, support the podcast. You like the American Red Devils. Check out our online store at www.americanreddevils.com. Click on store. Check out our blog, same place. Support us on Patreon, www.patreon.com/AmericanRedDevils. Write a review on iTunes, sir. Do you have the top downloads the last 7 days?
You know I do, sir. Let's do it. Number one.
Cities.
Number one. How you doing? Pearland, Texas. Appreciate ya. Magall, UK. I butchered that. Apologies. Tacoma, Washington. Columbus, OH. Cork, Ireland. Houston, Texas. Zionsville, Indiana. Patna, India. Islington, UK. Boardman, Oregon. And Derry, New Hampshire. What a list. Appreciate all of you. All the American Devils listening week in, week out. Have a very happy holidays. A Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, sir. I hope we talk to you all midweek for a preview of the upcoming Newcastle game after Christmas. Hopeful for that, sir, but we will keep you posted because this thing is developing in real time. This shit could all change by tomorrow, but
yeah, that's the plan. We're going to do Newcastle preview next week. So if Newcastle gets pushed, we'll keep you posted on Twitter. Sir, what song have you got to take us out today?
Sir, Pride of All Europe. Cock of the North. Here we go.
Let's go.
Have a great week, everyone. Great weekend. Stay safe. Let's go.